Hi guys, we're going to talk about partitioning a line segment. And so in this first problem, we're starting at A and we're going toward B. We want to go into a ratio of 1 to 3, so that's 1/4 of the way. So if I divide that into fourths and I move 2, and if I divide that 8 unit span by 4, it's going to be 2 units. So I move 2 units from A down to P, and that's going to give me a P at -2.6. Sorry that my camera broke, so it'll be a little bit off the cuff here. For number 2, again, we're gonna move 2/7 of the way, and the distance is 7. And so we're just gonna move 2 units from A. It's gonna put us at 1. It's gonna put us at 1/7. Okay, sorry about that. For number 3, we're dividing into a ratio of 3 to 2, so that's 5 total pieces. This kind of feels like slope a little bit. So from A to B, and then it's going to be moving left 1 over 2 5 times. Now we only want to go 3 of those. So here's the first one, second one, and third one. That's going to be our point P. Then we run into a little bit of an issue here, that we need to divide this into 8 pieces, and it's just not that comfortable. This distance is 7 units long, and this vertical distance is 4 units long. So we're kind of at a problem. So now what I'm going to do for you is I'm going to show you each of these problems worked out just with math. Okay, so here's number 1. Number 1, we're starting at A, and so we write down A's values here as 2 and 8, -2 and 8. Then, since we're using a ratio of 1 to 3, we're going to use a fraction of 1/4. So we have -2 plus 1/4 and 8 plus 1/4. And the distance that we're traveling in X is 0. The distance that we're traveling in Y is -8. So those are the values that I put in blue and pink here. 1/4 of 0 is 0, so -2 plus 0 is -2. 8 plus 1/4 of -8, ooh, that should be -6. Let's change that. All right, there's a better answer. All right, example 2. Again, I want to convert 2/5 into 2/7. There's 7 total pieces. And then I want to move 2 of them. So that's where you'll see -1 plus 2/7 and 7 plus 2/7 written in pencil. Now what those are going to be of is going to be the 7, which is the distance in X, and the 0, which is the distance in Y. That matches the picture that we had. We're moving 7 in X, and we're moving 0 in Y. 2/7 of 7 is 2, so -1 plus 2 is 1, and 7 plus 0 is 7. Would you go ahead and try now, example 3, in this format before I show you my work? Pause the video now, please. You've unpaused the video, and now you're ready to see example 3. 9 plus 3/5 of -10. And -3 plus 3/5 of 5. Good for answers of 3, 0. That's what you see on the graph. It matches what we did by the graphing. And go ahead and pause the video and try example 4 before I show it to you. You've unpaused the video, and here is example 4. I'm not quite sure that my numbers are correct, so feel free to check me. I think this one is incorrect because I don't think that point lands on this line. So from A to B, and I've got a value of 8. That doesn't even make sense. So the value of 8 doesn't make sense here, so I'm going to do some investigating. Shoot, I don't know. We'll have to come back to that one. For the story problem here, it's got an 80-mile trip, and we're trying to be 70 miles into it. So we're not given a ratio here. We're given a numerator and denominator, 70 miles in and 80 miles total. We're going to reduce that to 7/8. Here's the work for that problem. If you use a calculator, you can zoom from this step to this step. I just showed you the math as well. What you need to know about the distance between a line and a point is that the quickest path is at a perpendicular. So in example 7, got a -2 for the slope that's given, and then we're going to use the perpendicular m, which is plus 1/2 or positive 1/2. Then we use HK formula, and we've got y equals m times x minus h plus k. Y equals 1/2 of x minus 0 plus 0. 1/2 touches the x and gets 1/2 x. 1/2 of 0 plus 0 is also going to be 0. So y equals 1/2 x. You could also write 1/2 x plus 0 if you like. Example 8, the given slope is 3, and the perpendicular slope is -1/3, and the point there is -9, -2. And there it is in slope-intercept form. Well, let's see if we can solve what our mistake was in this past example. So 4 is my starting point. Oh, that's the problem. 4 is not my starting point, and -5 is not my starting point. So I'll work this one out for you. All right. So we need to start, this one's going from B to A. So we need to start at -3, -1, that's where we need to start at. So it's gonna be, we'll just make a new video.